Hey guys, it's DT and welcome back to another one of my big unboxing videos. So I wasn't planning on making a video today, however, this big box appeared on my doorstep last night. So today we'll be taking a look at another statue from Sideshow Collectibles. This one is the exclusive Logan Premium Format Figure. And of course, Logan is also known as Wolverine, who first appeared in the pages of Incredible Hulk way back in 1974. He made a cameo appearance on the last page of issue 180. He then made his first full appearance in issue 181, and then completed the trilogy in this book, issue 182. And if you guys want to hear a funny story about this book, make sure to tune in to my next Wolverine video. So this piece was just released. I don't own any Logan statues at the moment. However, I do have a couple Wolverines, but I'm very excited to be opening up this today. So this is the exclusive version, which was limited to 1,250 pieces, and I have number 51. So today is Super Bowl Sunday. Shakira and J-Lo are probably performing on stage at the halftime show right now. So I have to make this quick. So right now the score is tied 10-10. I'm really excited to see how this game turns out. Only you guys in the future know the end result. But since it's halftime, I think it's a good time to open this up. So here we have the front of the box. It's got a picture of the statue, Logan over here. Big circle with a giant X through it. Let's see what we have here. All right, so let's get this stuff unwrapped. Okay, and here's what you get. Starting out, let's take a look at the base here. This whole scene takes place at a bar or pool hall. As you can see, we have a hardwood floor. And we can also see the little floor joists in there. It sort of reminds me of the floor on the base of the Juggernaut. It looks like we have a little piece of foam in there. I guess we're supposed to remove that. We have a couple balls, a broken pool cue, some other broken wood, some scratches on the floor. I'm guessing this is the keyhole where we insert Logan. Overall, nice base, not too heavy. And here's a look at the bottom, Logan Premium Format. And then we have the edition size as well as the edition number. We also have a little stool that's been broken off. It has some claw marks in there. This is actually raised up a little bit, where it kind of looks like the stuffing from the seat cushion is coming up. So you can actually feel that ridge right there, which is a nice touch. We have the broken legs, which look like they're really broken. This actually weighs a lot more than I would think it would. And here we have another keyhole. So this is a mixed media piece. I know a lot of people had reservations about that, myself included. Like many, I always prefer a completely sculpted piece. Right here, you can see we have some wrinkles in the jeans, which I'd rather not have to deal with. I don't know if it's a good idea to really steam your statues. These are his jeans. They are very soft. They're not really denim material, I want to say. His upper body is sculpted, so even though that might look like he's got a cloth tank top on, it's actually sculpted. It would seem to me that having to create all these different clothing items would be more costly than if they just sculpted a piece and painted it, but if you guys know, leave a comment down below. We have Wolverine's two arms here. He's got huge claws, look at that. These arms actually are pretty hefty. I'd say the right arm weighs a little bit more than the left. And finally, we have the portrait. So this is the collector's portrait. He's got his mouth wide open like he's yelling. Very nice hair. Sort of reminds me of the premium format Wolverine statue that I have. It is cool that you do get all of his neck, part of his shoulders, and part of his chest. You could set this up as a mini bust if you wanted to. There's the back of his head. Finely sculpted hair. And then we have the exclusive portrait. And this one, he's got a more sinister looking face. He's got a few cuts on his forehead that reveal his adamantium skull. And some people said this reminded them of Jack Nicholson. Here they are side by side. As you can see, the collector's portrait is quite a bit bigger with his mouth being open. We'll have to see how they look on the statue before I decide how I'm gonna display these. But right now, that collector's portrait looks pretty fierce. His teeth do appear to be lighter too on that one. Look at the size difference there. Let's put this thing together. Okay guys, so we have our trusty turntable. We'll get the small one today because this guy is not that big. And let's put down the base. Then we have the stool, which looks like it goes right here. And the pieces of wood that we saw earlier on the base are actually the broken off legs of the stool. Next, we'll grab Logan's body. We insert the peg and key there. And there is actually a magnet on the stool where his left foot attaches. Next up, let's put his arms. We've got his left arm right here. This goes in like that. And his right arm attaches like that. And we'll stick on the collector's portrait right here. So we have a little broken bottle here, and we also have some pieces of glass. And it looks like those go pretty much wherever you want to put them. These don't stick to the base, so you're going to want to make sure if you do move this statue that you keep track of those glass pieces. If you look closely, these are blank dog tags. They're just there kind of for the overall appearance, but there's nothing printed on them. So it doesn't look like you can put this over his head, so you're going to have to put it on before you stick the portrait on, and then you stick the head on. You can have it just dangling here like this, but there is a little magnet on his chest that you can stick the dog tags on, and that way it just doesn't hang there. It kind of gives it a little sense of motion. But there you have it, the completed Logan statue. So let's take a look all the way around this guy. So like I said, on the base, we have a hardwood floor. It's kind of broken so we can see the cross sections and all the details of the subfloor. I almost forgot that little piece of foam that was underneath this board. And they put that there because this board is actually rising up off of the floor. I guess from all the weight coming down on it from this stool. I love that they have the balls on the floor as well as the broken pool cue. I like the texture of the wood, and it does have these little raised nails on there as well. The paint and the sculpt on the wood joist are sufficient, but the ones on the Juggernaut maquette are a lot better, in my opinion. Okay, let's move on to Logan. So I really like this pose where his legs up on the stool. He's kind of crouched over. He's enraged. He's getting ready to explode. So this piece was sculpted by Daniel Bell, who was the sculptor of the Gladiator Hulk that we showed you in another video. I'm a really big fan of his. He always does awesome work. There hasn't been a Daniel Bell sculpt that I didn't like. So I know a lot of people are familiar with Logan from the movies and the Hugh Jackman version. However, this piece is a lot more comic accurate. Logan/Wolverine is only supposed to be 5 foot 3 inches tall, whereas Hugh Jackman is 6'3". So there's a big difference in height there. Also, the build is quite different. As you can see, Logan here is a lot stockier than Hugh Jackman was. He's got huge arms, very muscular back. You can see the thickness in his legs as well. The texture and detail in the paint in his arms are really good. You can see all the vascularity of the little hairs in his arms that go all the way up to his shoulders. They added a bit of red around his knuckles, where his claws come out of his hands. He's also got some of that red on his elbow to give it that raw appearance. The claws look really nice. They're actually made out of real metal. They're a bit colder to the touch compared to the rest of the statue, and the easiest way to make something look and feel like real metal is to use real metal. The definition in his chest and neck is really nice. You can also see his abs popping out through his tank top. On his back, we've got some nice folds in the material. You can also see the rib texture, and it looks like he also has some claw marks on his back. I'm not sure how he got those. Maybe he had a bad itch and he was a little too aggressive with his back scratching, or perhaps he's fighting somebody with claws. Sideshow does have a saber-tooth piece coming out soon. I have it on pre-order. However, that one has a snow base, so I'm not too sure how this would pair up with that piece. But Sabretooth and Wolverine are always going at it, so these scratches could very well be from Sabretooth. There are some visible seams where the arms and the portrait meet the tank top here. They could have made that a little tighter. However, anytime you have seams, it's always best to put it in a natural spot. And I much prefer the seam being next to a piece of clothing rather than like in the neck or the wrist. And from far away, you really can't tell. It just looks like a shadow from the clothing. His boots have some nice detail. They have some creases where they bend, nice texture, as well as stitching details in there. And then we have the mixed media pants here. Like I mentioned before, this is really soft material. It's not like very stiff blue jeans, but as you can see, it does get wrinkled up a little bit. So usually the pro with mixed media is that you're able to pose the piece to your liking. However, here, there's not really much you can do with blue jeans. I mean, I guess you could kind of roll up his pants if you wanted to. Let's roll them up a little bit and let's see what's underneath. His boots are fairly short. They're not like total cowboy boots that go all the way up to your mid-calf. For being such a hairy dude, this guy's got some smooth legs. I'm not really sure why they go this route, since I know the majority of collectors like the fully sculpted pieces, but it must save money somewhere along the line. There's one thing I noticed up in his left quad knee area is that there is a big flat spot here on the inside of his leg. And I think it's because in order to get this arm in, you kind of have to slide it up against his left leg. So they basically had to shave off the inside of his leg here in order for his arm to fit. And I think that's why they went with the mixed media pants. It's to hide this area right here. If this was sculpted, this would be so obvious. The pants hide that a little better because the arm is so close to the leg. When you're sliding that arm on, if this was painted, there'd be a lot of risk of either scratching the paint on the leg or scratching the arm. Now, another solution would be to try and make this all one piece. However, due to the close proximity of the arm and the leg, that would just be a painting nightmare. So he's got a nice leathery belt. He's got the maple leaf belt buckle because, of course, Logan is from Canada. Like I said before, I love the sculpt in his face. Here's a look at the Logan portrait next to the Wolverine Premium Format exclusive portrait. And you can see the differences. Everything's a little bit bigger on the Logan statue, as well as his mouth being open a little wider. For some reason, they went really dark on the skin tone on the Wolverine statue, but this is what I had displayed on that statue. And now that I have this one, and I think I will go back and switch Wolverine back to his mask portrait. This one, of course, did have the little cowl on the back, which is kind of nice. And now let's take a look at the exclusive portrait. I do like that portion of his skull that shows through. However, I do think that I like his mouth being open a bit more. I don't know, what do you guys like better? He has like an evil grin on his face. I'm coming to get you. This portrait actually looks pretty good. I just think it doesn't have as much action in it. So if you're looking for a more subdued Logan, this might be the way to go. Okay, so here's a look at the Logan Premium Format next to the Wolverine Premium Format, who is standing on the Sentinel hand base. And as you can see, they are pretty much identical in height. They are both pretty muscular. However, the triceps on the Logan statue blow the triceps on this guy away. I think the Wolverine is much more realistically proportioned than the Logan over here. This guy is ridiculous. They actually look pretty cool together. The many faces of Logan. Overall, the piece looks very nice. If you guys are in the market for a Logan statue, I don't think you can go wrong with this guy right here. It doesn't take up a lot of real estate, which is always a plus in this hobby. So if any of you guys were on the fence about this piece and my video helped you guys make a decision, I'll leave my referral code in the description down below. If you guys use it, I get some credit, which always helps me buy more statues to show you guys in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I gotta get back to the Super Bowl, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.